Hello. Dr. Claude Anderson said that Black folks haven't endured enough pain in order for them to change. We're going to take a perspective of a Black person who feels as though he's conscious, but still feels the remnants of slavery and mistreatment and the things that allow, like glass ceilings, to take place in the corporate world, to hold you down, to keep you down. I asked one of my friends the other day about one of my videos, and he told me that I needed to give a little bit more of a foundation because they wouldn't know what I was talking about. Since I'm a little advanced in age, we're dealing with people 20, 30, 40 years. They don't understand the words to places like songs like the Dramatics, the Supremes. Well, I was talking about, hey, you get off my mountain. You're just trying to bring me down. Black people have yet to understand wherever the soles of their feet hit on this earth, that is their home. Wherever they decide to go, they went there first. So when people have the nerve to tell you, go back to Africa, you should automatically understand that they are from Africa by us, by way of us. We were the first people to populate this land called Earth. And the only reason why we're suffering today is because of a lack of abundance. But the world, this earth, the universe is full of abundance. They have just misguided and used us to enrich themselves while keeping us in a scarcity mindset. So when I tell you, hey, you get off my mountain, you see, that's supposed to be my mountain. Manu Musa was the most prosperous and the richest man that anybody has ever known. And he was in Africa. Why do you think that they are pillaging and romping through Africa right now? Because of the resources. Why do you think that we were enslaved? Because of our resources. But you won't listen to me. You think I'm just somebody rambling. So I'm going to give you somebody you would listen to because you'll recognize the voice. I'm not trying to talk any other way but the way it comes out of my mouth. But this comes from my spirit, from mouth to ear to spirit. Listen up.
To my prosperity, then you're primitive and problematic. But that's not what they'll say because the lies are endless. No, we have to look at the West, look at the world from our vantage point, from our perspective, our paradigm, our understanding, and in our language, according to our terms and our definitions. I'll give you an easy example, capitalism. And the idea of capitalism is to pursue wealth and prosperity, free markets and so on. Well, the actual rule is that you're supposed to be dedicated to my wealth and my prosperity, the employer, the boss, the company. So you're actually in capitalism required to subordinate your wealth and your prosperity to mine. This is capitalism in a nutshell. This then became the mentality of colonization. You, your people, your country, Africa, Asia, Latin America, wherever, your function in life is to make me richer. And that's called me civilizing you. If you're not devoted to my prosperity, then you're primitive and problematic. But that's not what they'll say because the lies are endless. No, we have to look at the West, look at the world from our vantage point, from our perspective, our paradigm, our understanding, and in our language, according to our terms and our definitions. I'll give you an easy. Example, capitalism. And the idea.
So there's nothing new under the sun. And I wanted you to hear these words from this man. Western word games. But they've also played other type of games. They played beastly games, making black men dress up in dresses, changing masculine to feminine, and taking away the wealth, the intellectual prosperity that they have snatched away from our talents. That's not even considering what they've done to families. And see, nobody wants to hear this, not even black folks. But how in the world can you prosper or move ahead no matter how much you try to deny and not look at it? How can you move ahead when you actually, some of you don't know your past, but the past is your foundation for the present and the future. If you don't know it and you don't know where you come from, you can be bamboozled, hoodwinked, fooled at any time to believe that you're nothing. I know this for a fact because we were all put through that system. You think the educational system teaches us everything that we need to know to be successful? They say they want us in school. They will arrest certain people for truancy. But they need to be arrested for not teaching us who we are, for not teaching us the skills we need in order to survive in this corporate-like slavery. And the last thing I want to say is they don't make no more time or land. So if you don't be a good steward of your time on this earth, and if you don't have any land, then you look something like me most of the time, or you're a person of color. But that's over with. Because I will have abundance, I will think abundance, I will create abundance, and I will live abundantly, or I will not live at all. But don't you worry, I know you're not crying over me. I don't love you either, but I'm not prejudiced, and I'm not thinking about what happened to me in the past. I'm just taking a page out of the European handbook. And that book states one thing. It's me before everybody, and whatever I have to do to live the life that I want, so be it. This is going to be coming to a close on this stream. This is the first time I believe I've come to you in this manner. I have this to tell you before I leave. Any man or woman, that means any color, but specifically, I'm talking to people that look like me, that don't think that you belong. Wherever you are in this world, you were there first. The soles of your feet, wherever they hit, you belong. We used to call it sight. We used to say something and then say psych. So we were telling somebody a lie, and then we would tell them psych. The only difference between what we did and what they did is they told us a lie, but they didn't say psych. So they actually psyched us out. They impregnated us with programs to make us feel less than, to make us think that we could not accomplish all the things that our forefathers and what we have done since we've been here. If that man or anyone pays you millions of dollars to be on a sports team, to make music, to play an instrument, to do anything that is profitable, well, you need to take a real good look, because he doesn't give you nothing without receiving something. So if you're making millions, he's making billions. If you see him coming, close your door, lock all the doors and the screens, put your women away, and make sure that you don't open it. And for all y'all church-going people, you could pray, but one thing I notice about that is you call yourself Christians. But let me tell you what I know. Spirituality was here long before Christianity, and Christianity originated in Africa. But just like everything else, they painted over anything that was black with white. They put their stamp on it, and then they gave it back to you with the words that they put in there to subjugate you and to enrich themselves. And then they went into your hut while you looked on, and they took advantage of your wife, your daughter, and anybody else in there. And you still say, I love my master. I give him my time. I am happy that he gives me a job that takes over my whole life, where I don't have time for my children and my husband. And we fight over money and all types of things that if we would only take back charge of our minds and our time and start dictating, not be dictated to, dictate to someone that I only have a certain amount of time to enrich you. The rest of that time is to enrich my family, to enrich myself and my community. Truth be told, you don't have to like me, but that's not going to stop me from telling you the truth as I know it. You may not believe this, but I'm a community-minded person. But I also know that anybody who benefits from the support that he's gotten as a child in grade school, in junior high, in high school, college, when you didn't have no money, the community was supporting you. For all you athletes who think that the money you make is all yours, you stole and you steal from your community. Because when you didn't have nothing, you were happy for your neighbors to be there, to support you and to watch you and to make you feel good while you performed on the court. Now, you don't have nothing for the community. You act like all that you did by yourself. The difference between you and him is that he likes to see you do nothing for your community. He likes to pet you on your head and say, good job, son. That's exactly what I told you to do. That's exactly how I told you to do it. And for all y'all that's thriving, okay, they got a whole community of people in Africa that are not thriving. They striving, okay? And we ought to be ashamed of ourselves. We don't take care of our elderly. We don't have no respect for them. You don't think they have nothing to contribute, but you're just like your master. You see, the United States claims to be the greatest nation on earth. But I'll tell you something. If they didn't take care of Civil War veterans after the Civil War, What makes you think that they're going to take care of any other veterans? Now, they might have improved by taking care of European veterans, but those veterans who claim and fight for their country, lose limbs, and give it all they got, and they got to come back home and struggle with mental, physical, and emotional trauma, and then our government lets this happen to not only your veterans, you let it happen to your elderly, from which this system was built on, including black labor, white wealth. Dr. Claude Anderson. I hope y'all can live with yourself. I want you to be just like your master, because I'm going to call you out on it. He don't care about older people either. Or he might care about his mama, his daddy, his primary family. That's what billionaires do. But it's not what they do, it's what we let them do. For me, I didn't let them use me up enough. I dictate how I spend my time. But don't be foolish. You need money to survive. But I don't have 40 hours to give nobody no more. I need to dictate the terms of my contract, and everything you do with the establishment that supposedly gives you jobs. They don't give you jobs. They give you different versions of slavery. And you so happy to have it that you will do anything that they will tell you to do, even if it means stepping over your own mama, daddy, sisters, or brothers. You'll do anything to be in that big house just like him, to drive that fancy car. Cowardice. If the word fits you, wear it like a badge of honor, just like the goals that you put around your neck, okay, from the Olympics and all other things that they give you. And also for you that wear those dresses, once you put it on, you can never go back.